Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of the Sunfall Cycle. We started just as Bronze got up to run away. Welcome back, gang. It's been so long since I've seen your beautiful faces. I'm very excited to be in my home in terrible lighting with all of you beautiful people. All of you look great today. I look like a cadaver, like a ghoul, which is not any different than normal days, but, more ghoulish than usual.
A pronounced ghoulishness.
Yeah.
Is it because you haven't had enough coffee this morning, Jesse?
God bless you for segues, my man. Thank you so much.
You're serving it up to you on a silver platter, buddy.
Today, or did you not have coffee?
What? Have I had coffee today? Yeah, so can I tell you what it's like to become an old man? Everyone, let me just walk you through my day. Woke up, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home today and I'm gonna stream from home. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna hang out and just, you know what? I'm gonna make coffee. I'm gonna actually make a pot of coffee in my own home. Hell yes.
Feeling productive.
Very productive. So I went upstairs and I put the coffee on. And here's the thing. I haven't made coffee in my house in maybe 4 months. And I had forgotten that my delightful friends, just real sweethearts, when they were over one time, accidentally cracked my coffee pot. So, and I was like, oh, I'll just buy a new one. I'll repair that at some point. Never did. So I put the coffee on, went to go take a shower, come back out of the shower. The kitchen is like a 1,000-year flood. It is coffee everywhere.
Just like all the coffee straight out of the pot.
It is everywhere. And it wasn't just like contained to the counter. It was on the floor. It was everywhere. So I just want to say, thanks for your patience today. I was like just hands and knees just scrubbing and wiping and sapping and slurping.
That's my fetish.
Oh, I know. That's why I said it when you came back.
That while I yell at you.
Yeah.
And I'll pay you $50.
Here's the thing.
Jesse, what was the reaction the moment that it broke? Is it like old man, like, no? Or is it like,
commercial?
Stop? Like, what did you do?
I can't. First off, none of this is information you need to know. At the time, I was bare-ass naked, so I came upstairs.
Yes.
Saw
Making
the floor
coffee naked.
This is the important details I need to get to.
Saw the floor covered with shit and was just like, turned around, went and like found rags and just started like cleaning up bare ass naked. So
God give me strength.
It was almost like a $50 bronze session, but it was just on the floor cleaning.
Bronze had no idea, but this is actually the fetish. It's the full fetish.
Right. Yeah. Look, it's
No, we
it's
never
the
got anything a $50 bronze session ever again. Just petition that right now.
Clean up
it's
that
it's the coffee exfoliation. The full body coffee exfoliant.
Get on all fours now.
The way you said clean up that coffee, you dumb bitch.
You big dumb ape. You forgot about what your friends did, didn't you?
All right, friends. We're here, episode 27, 3 episodes away from 30, which is a number nobody cares about. What happened last episode in episode 26? Do any of you remember? Because it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks. We didn't have a show last Wednesday, but I think now for the next couple Wednesdays at least we're clear. So refresh our memories. What happened?
Okay, so we had come back from our weird mind travel adventure, and we had a discussion with our 2 friends, Castor and Pollux, and their boss, whose name I cannot remember. And
Rael is the woman in charge of the camp.
Yes, and we learned all about their sort of story and what they had done. And I think we determined that the other the other Father Ishmael Xavier Jacobin the Fourth Esquire, S. Preston. They are baddies, and we're going to go back and kick their ass. However, before we do any of that, we decided to go back, talk with Saloon, go turn in our big fat bird of money, decided to like take some time for ourselves, buy some things, and then we realize we've had this damn space furnace for the last like however many episodes just sitting there, and we've never really gone to go get our blacksmith that we were like, we're definitely going to do this, but we haven't. And so we made we were like, we're going to get this blacksmith, and then Britt and Bronze were like, what if we go get Tim? And that's when we went off the rails and our plan started to falter.
Because D&D is about playing in the sandbox that Steven has created, and I'm sure Steven would agree we're not destroying his narrative by exploring the themes that he has presented to us, as stated by you and Jeff repeatedly. So stop saying, oh, the chicks on the show go off the rails. Steven wants us to suck my dick.
I will send you $50 in the mail. That was great. So
this man does not need you to white knight for him.
First off, I think Steven makes this up all as he goes along. I don't think he has any of this written down. I have yet to be proven. I have yet to be proven that he is not just like, oh my God, father.
His name is Tim.
Yeah.
But are you telling me you didn't present us with an orb with an adorable creature to not test our morality and see whether or not we would be drawn to?
No, I think it was a boss, but he's too kind, and he was just like, I'm not gonna hate these guys for wanting to keep it as a pet.
There are interesting things going on with Tim. It's
Tim's gonna be the final boss. You all are fools. So anyway, we decided to go and instead of get Tim, we're gonna go to the blacksmith, where apparently there's another demon that Bronze wants to get, and we're gonna try and recruit this blacksmith. And hopefully, maybe, I don't know, get him to go to the moon with us. Maybe. And that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah, so there was another reason that you were going to the blacksmith, which is that all four of you received rewards from Castlevania.
I forgot about our rewards.
We got our metal stuff.
And we're also trying to find a back door into the church, aren't we? Or no.
We're going around it.
Class.
Yeah, you're behind the church right now.
That's what we did last time. Is we did the back door last time. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're looking for the glass.
Yeah, the viewing lens.
Yeah, so last time you got rewards from Castor and Pollux, and they said, take these to the smith. They're worthless as is, but the smith can turn them into something valuable for you. So Sarek, you got blood metal, which is like a pile of rust-like metal, and black gloves. Aya got silver jewelry in the shape of a white raven's pinions. And Kara got 2 torques, bronze torques that are broken. And Armaros got a shattered sunblade. But Castor and Pollux sort of said, like even the smith, he's not skilled enough to reforge this weapon. And it was actually useless because it's a sunblade and the sun demons are basically immune to its effects. But if you brought the smith something like the heart of a mid-tier sun demon, maybe he could use the power of that object to reforge this weapon into something more valuable. So you headed to the smith. You fought your way through the Avenue of Immortality, where there were all those pillars with the statues up on top, and the people shooting flaming arrows at barrels that exploded and dealt tons of damage to you. You got a tier of saloon from there. So you have 2 of the 3 tiers that you need to level up right now. And you ended by crossing a bridge over to the other side of the water behind the cathedral to Coronet. There's sort of like a canal. And you look down in the water and you saw sort of like an oil slick sheen on it and sort of little chunks of like coal or metal working effluvia down in the water. And it reminded you of another place you had seen. Yeah, where you fought the troll, Henderstentia, in the water there. There was similar marks of like metal working runoff. Anyway, you crossed over the bridge and you were outside this large stone structure, circular stone structure with a hole in the top where there's, smoke billowing out. And you open the door and went in. And as your eyes adjusted, you saw, let's see, what's the location that I can describe for you? As you look around this armory, it's very clear to you that like much of the material here has just been destroyed. There's like a collection of metalworking tools that are like strewn around the floor and broken and like half melted. And one of the anvils is like turned over and on its side and has like gouged a deep gouge in the flagstones of the floor. There's a massive hammer that's leaning up on the central well out of which fire is rushing. There's a huge seesaw bellows over on the left. That's, like someone could stand on each side and pump it in order to pump air into the well. And in the center, there's this well, and you may remember from seeing it in the past, that there were runes all around the edge of the well. Hello, Kintsugi. Welcome to the show today. Glad of you can join us. There were runes all around the top of the well, and the runes are still there, but some of them look like they're sort of like seared and scorched and blackened, as if the containment spell around this well is failing. And of course, inside of this well, you see the deep roaring flame. It basically looks like you're looking into the plane of elemental fire. And on the other side of the well, in the center of this armory, is the man you recognize from the past. He's not wearing a shirt, but he is wearing an apron, a black leather apron, and his deep, darkly tanned skin is glistening in the firelight as his hands sort of grip the edge of the well. And you can see like the steam on his from the sweat of his hands that's evaporating from the heat of this well. And he looks down into the well and back up at you, and his eyes, they are conscious. They are conscious the way that like Castor and Pollux' eyes are, that Rael's eyes are. But you see them occasionally flicker into darkness the way you've seen the shadow-touched people that you've had to kill over and over have these like black pits for eyes instead of normal human eyes. He looks up at you, and he says, as the door swings shut behind you, he says, visitors, save yourselves the trouble. My time here is ending. And you see that around his arms, there are these ropes of fire that have thrown themselves out of the well and wrapped around his arms and are connected down into the depths of the well.
Demons.
What do the four of you do?
Your cat is so needy. It's adorable. I can't take you seriously right now, though.
She's pretty good. She's
bopping her head against yours every time you talk.
She's a certain kind of character, that's for sure.
I love the idea that you're like, it's too late for me. You can't save me now. Okay, Bond villain.
It totally changed
the whole thing
what
changed.
You were going for, because you were just like, who was that dude from Inspector Gadget? You were
Dr.
like,
Claw?
Yeah.
Claw.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Yeah.
Next time.
Leave this place. It felt more like a, save yourselves, and more of like a...
There were two cats wrapped around his arms. He couldn't escape.
Which cat wins? The one you pet the
most. That's so dumb. It's great. Okay, so
guess we should save this dude somehow.
Yeah.
What do we? I mean,
so the tendrils are coming out of a pit.
Yeah.
And I think I was the only one who looked in the pit earlier, but can you tell me how large we talking? Like,
the well's probably 6 feet across.
Okay.
And the ring of stones, the stones are probably 12 inches thick ringing this well. It probably comes like up to sort of like navel height on Deether, who's a large man. He's incredibly strong. His frame looks a lot like Armaros's, actually, in terms of like how much muscle is on this guy. He's very clearly been swinging this massive hammer for decades. When you step forwards to look down into the well again, it descends down and your eyes sort of play this weird trick on your brain. You can't see a bottom, and so your eyes sort of like make you think that there's a bottom, but every time you reevaluate, you see that the bottom is actually further and further away than you originally thought it was. So it's a little bit vertiginous, vertigo-inducing as you look into this well. Roll a wisdom saving throw for me, Aya.
not. Oh, that's not bad.
You know, you reel as you look down into the well for a second, but you can see sort of a shimmering entity hovering there, probably 20 feet down and throwing up ropes of fire that grab onto this guy's arms. And strangely enough, like his skin is not burning. There, like very obviously, there is a lot of heat. You can feel it blasting against your face, and like beads of sweat are appearing on your brow and then evaporating just as quickly. But he's not burning. As
The
this
thing is like huge, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Would it be a mid-tier sun demon?
Give me.
Because the lance heads we were told those were low tier, right?
Yes, those were low tiers. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me an Arcana check. Aya. Ooh. You know, there's something different about this demon. You don't know what it is. But it feels like there's a strange difference in harmony to its energy signature when compared to the solar demons that you've fought. You can't put your finger on it. You're a little too distracted by this guy who's just like staring down into the depths of the pit.
Okay. I just wanted to size up what the heck we're gonna do here.
What are the other three of you doing while Aya is examining down into the depths of the pit? Armaros, are you doing anything now that you're here, now that you see what's happening in here or the stuff around the room? Oh, you're muted, Jeff, sorry.
I'm just with the group assessing.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Can I use eye for detail to determine if I see... Like, I want to look around. And I don't really know that I have any knowledge or information about demons, but, like, I'd love to see what else is here.
Let's see, eye for detail. When you make a wisdom insight check to determine whether a creature is lying, treat a roll of 7 or lower on the... Oh, wait, that's ear for deceit. Use a bonus action to make a wisdom perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or to make an intelligence investigation check to uncover or decipher clues. Are you trying to find hidden things, or are you trying to uncover or decipher clues, Jesse?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what is kind of going on here in relation to, like, what the... Basically, I'm not trying to find, like, a hidden sword. I'm trying to figure out what we can do, if there's anything we can use in here to help free this guy or save this dude.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to figure out clues.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check.
I will do that.
The guy is the smithy, right?
Yes.
Yes, the guy his name is Deether Caldera. He's this huge barrel-chested man, completely clean-shaven, just like slick with sweat, wearing a black apron. 16. I imagine
that's pretty good.
Sarek. That's pretty good. I imagine as Aya starts like moving forwards and investigating the runes and the well, you sort of start sidling around, getting a little bit closer over towards where Deether is, and as you approach, you can see him muttering under his breath. You can't quite hear what he's saying, but every once in a while, you just hear him saying, No, it's not worth it. There's nothing. And then you also hear in the tenor of the fire from the well itself, you hear the hissing and popping of flame. And as you listen closely, it starts to resolve itself into a language. You start hearing like not words specifically, but meaning starts sort of seeping out of the well. It's just a constant stream of reassuring conversation coming out of the well.
Where's the
Soothing,
demon again?
Reassuring, agreement, that sort of thing.
When you say that, just so I'm clear on this, the dude is like, I'm doomed. This sucks. Everything's awful.
Yeah.
And the thing in the well is like, no, bro, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay.
It's more that the thing in the well is agreeing.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah. It's more like you're not hearing words, but the feeling you get is, yeah, you're right. Everything is terrible.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
What about you, Ankara? What's your reaction to seeing all of it?
I think I'm trying to figure out whether like using something like frostbite would help release.
What is frostbite?
Frostbite? It's one of my things. Cause numbing frost to form on a creature that you see within range. Target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 1d6 cold damage and has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll before the end of its
So, give me an Arcana test, unless you think there's a better skill that you want to use to evaluate how effective this might be.
That's probably the right one.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So, I think what you can sense is going on here, in Kara, is that there's a magical link between the smith and this creature in the well, and you think it's forged in fire. Obviously, from just looking at what's happening here, there's a magical bond between them forged in fire, and you can place this frostbite on the smith in order to weaken the link between these two creatures. But it is going to hurt the smith. You run a risk of angering him or angering the creature. You could probably try some sort of like preparatory action in order to like soothe him or ameliorate his reaction to this or something like that. But if you just like did it, he'd probably interpret it as an attack.
Okay, so probably not the greatest thing to do. I don't know what else I have that can help with this. So I guess I'm just trying to gather information about the bond between them to help us decipher.
Oh, damn. Look at Diether's token.
Woo-wee.
Yep, here we go. We got Diether Caldera over here. And then also we have
That haircut.
I'm ready for this.
the demon.
I like how he has the 90s tendrils.
Yeah.
Remember the 90s?
Yeah, that's the hair.
I'm gonna
Like
do
the
that.
wax is in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the blonde tips though.
Yeah, so
It's perfect.
as you all stand around, you hear Diether begin talking. He says, he just sort of mutters under his breath. He says, "I'm not sure why you are still here. The world is doomed. There is nothing to be done." And then you hear this sort of sense in your minds echoing from the well. Yes, Diether, the world is over. It will
What a
burn.
downer.
I know, it's not very optimistic.
Um,
I have a question, actually.
so you can tell that this demon is trying to make an attempt at convincing Diether that, yeah,
Right.
things are butts. And
But Steven,
yes,
this is like, it might be a dumb question.
all right.
In our flashback, is this the same guy that gave us the clean fabric?
Yes,
It is.
it is.
It's the same dude.
It's the same dude.
Okay. And from my recollection, weren't there runes keeping this thing in its circle?
Yes.
What happened to those? Are those still
They're
there?
Still there. There are still runes on the edge of the well, but some of them are like burnt and scorched and blackened and like burnt out. It's clear that the containment on this well is breaking.
Can we try to remember what those runes were?
Yeah, can we recall and redraw them?
Ooh, this is very interesting. So actually, now I would like all of you to roll initiative. And this is not a combat, but this is like there is a time-sensitive thing that's going on here, and we want to make sure that we track this.
Sorry.
Armaros and angry eyes.
Motherfucker.
No!
Angry face. Let's see. Roll.
It's okay. Britt's the higher wisdom character and she's both higher, so no pressure. Just remember everything. Have photographic memory. You put a point into that, right?
We're all fucked.
Yeah, a point into photographic memory.
You put a point into photographic memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're sort of like looking at each other, trying to like sort of muttering under your breath, like what were the runes what were they supposed to look like again? And then you hear this fire demon sort of pouring poison into Deether's mind. And as he does, you see the shadows gather at Deether's temples and start pouring into his eyes. And Kara, what do? You're standing. Where were you? You were trying to investigate whether or not this frost would help. So
I was pretty close because I wasn't as close as Aya because she was like looking into the well. So I was probably like 5 feet behind her, kind of like trying to make sure she doesn't get pulled into the well and also trying to figure out what's going on with the guy and this fire demon guy. So now this stuff's pouring into his eyeballs. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it seems like he's sort of like the despair that's weighing on his heart is growing heavier and heavier.
I mean,
how are you gonna fix it?
Holy shit! I mean, can I try to remember the runes?
Do it. You got this. Believe in yourself.
Let me see. Let me pull up your character sheet so I can see an example character. Kara Le Tigre? No, Kara.
There's a chance this demon is exactly what we need to make my blade.
I feel like it is.
In which case, we can experiment. If we die, it doesn't really matter, right?
Whoa, that's an excellent question. If he's...
Because if we let the blacksmith die, there's nobody to make your blade.
No, I'm not saying let him die.
Yeah, but if we die, then there's not going to be anybody to protect him. He's going to die. I'm assuming time continues.
Yeah,
to
that's
pass.
my question. If we die, does he come back uncorrupted? The only way to find out is we'd have to like...
No, I think he just
definitely just said we're on a clock or something.
Anytime you have seen a shadow-touched entity, a shadow-touched creature or person or whatever, that person seems like trapped and locked in this time loop. They've lost their minds. They're stuck repeating their past actions. They're functionally no longer like intelligent beings, right?
And
so
they come back
you all recognize that if he falls to his shadow-touched form, there's actually no coming back from that.
So we can't die.
I mean, if you all die right now, then
he's gonna fall.
He's like time doesn't advance when you are dead, basically, right? So if you just like all jumped in the pit and then came back, you'd start over.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and Kara, trying to remember the runes. I think remembering them is probably a wisdom saving throw, and drawing them is probably an arcana test. Probably you'd need to like get up close to the runes and examine them closely in order to like jog your memory and be like, oh no, this one had like a curl at the end, and that one was like that straight line that's broken was actually connected, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes, but I'm also asking Sarek if he drew any of them in his notebook and to please look and help me.
I want to say, hell yes, I did, but for story canonical reasons, we were other people, so would I even have had a notebook? I leave that to our glorious
Sarek's
DM.
thing
What a great
is
guy.
like drawing things in his notebook, so I really like this. I can imagine Sarek like trying to draw as much as he could from memory when he got back to the real world.
Yeah, I can
Just
imagine
in-
that too.
in spacious times. So, Sarek, I'm going to let you make a wisdom saving throw. If you get a 10 plus, then Ankara gets advantage on hers.
Let's do this.
PG.
Oh boy, this is rough.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Sarek opens the page and he's like, oh yeah, I got that right here. He opens it and it's like a drawing of like the super buff Smith, like mopping his brow with like one of these rags that he was giving you. And on the well, on the ring of the well, it just says, Deether Caldera, the hot Smith was here.
Damn it, Sarek.
How is it 9-9? Mark of the beast.
Oh! What are those runes, Steven? I don't need you, Sarek. Get out of here with your notebook.
Have you
Oh
seen
shit!
my
Did you?
drawing?
Oh damn!
He's
Yeah,
very
nice.
handsome.
Okay,
Okay.
super cool. So yeah, you remember them. You're like going around the edge, and you're like, no, this is all wrong. This is wrong. And
I'm
I
also
think
imagining her like looking at the book and being like, "What the fuck is this?"
This is wrong. This is all wrong.
It's just like hot dudes, like all drawn out, like posing next to furnaces.
This is all wrong. It's like looking at I am like, none of this is right.
have y'all seen the Hawkeye Project?
No.
Where it's Hawkeye
All right, so
posed in a bunch of like sexy ways.
Yes. This is Hawkeye drawn as if he was a woman superhero with like his butt facing backwards with two big round globes, and then like him turned around all the way and being like. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, definitely go Google the Hawkeye Project.
It's
Anyway,
glorious.
that's what you drew. You just drew the Hawkeye Project version of Deether Caldera in various sexy poses around his fort. All right, Ankara, I'm imagining you're like muttering to yourself or talking out loud as you're trying to like correct these things. So like other people can clue into what you're doing. So for example, if someone else had Arcana, they would also be able to try this sort of thing. But why don't you give me an Arcana check now to see if you can restore any of these runes?
Oh, you can see scrote.
Nice.
What?
The thong, it's super good.
The detail.
All right, cool.
Scrote?
You can see scrote.
Did you just slang that out there?
I prefer scroach myself.
Oh yeah, scroach.
Roach.
Yeah, I feel like we can put the
Is that
word like
different than scrote or the same as
no,
scrote?
it's like you got to snooch the scrote if you know what I mean. Snooch
Like
the
a-
scrooch.
You got it. Yeah,
Scroach is like just more textured or something.
Snooch
What's
the scroach.
the difference?
I feel like there's a level of innocence you can maintain until you're friends with bronze, and then something gets,
all goes downhill.
no coming back from that. Yeah, I'm just
Okay, and Kara, you managed to restore like half of the runes.
Okay.
And sort of like you take out a dagger and recarve them. And as you're doing this, like what does it look like that you're manipulating the weave of magic to coax the spell back into place?
The weave of magic, like on the where the runes are.
In these
themselves?
runes. Are you like are there actually like strands you can see in the air that you're like attaching to the stone, or do you have like words or phrases you're muttering, or are you like burning herbs? What are you doing?
I'm definitely like burning herbs around it. There's a small fire, and the rock has become more malleable, like a thick liquid. I like move around into the shape of the runes.
Awesome. Okay, so you've imposed a -2 on the demons like convincing. So we've got two icons here. We've got Deether Caldera and the Fire Demon's Arguments. And the Fire Demon's Arguments are building up to a maximum of 40, currently 10 out of 40. And you've reduced the damage he can deal by 2 points by restoring these runes. Armaros, what are you doing while all of this is going on?
we need to get him away from the demon.
If you're attempting to do that, I'll help because I don't have any Arcana. I can't do any of that. So I'll try and help you pull him away, or whatever your plan is. I'm in.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's try to talk to him first, I guess.
You gonna try to brute force it?
Well, we're gonna talk. We need this man to work for us so he can make weapons so he can kill things.
Yeah. So are you like trying to guide him away as you're talking to him, Armaros?
Yeah, I go over to him and I hear him like muttering, right?
Yeah, he's muttering to himself, the town is destroyed. Everyone I loved is gone. You hear this reassuring agreement uttering out of the well.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and try to be as nice as possible and be like, there's a lady on a moon. She's kind of pretty. And it's really quite beautiful there.
Awesome. Is this a persuasion?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I think you're untrained in persuasion, right?
Probably.
I
That's
could
like a great argument, though.
persuade, maybe.
Yeah,
Well, we're doing this in initiative order, of course, so
Sure.
you're going to get to go soon.
Sarah could maybe
Yeah.
aid, though. He could probably put his other hand in his
Yeah,
head.
give me a persuasion check, Armaros.
Got a solid 0 on that. That's good.
Yeah, you can tell that like the words you're saying don't really make any sense to him. He sort of looks at you with this like sort of shadow pooled in his eyes, sort of a grayish film that's sort of gathering in his eye sockets. And he looks at you and says, on the moon?
Yeah, it's weird.
What moon? And then are you trying to like gently guide him away?
I start gently. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think-
why don't you walk over here?
Even though your arguments didn't really make any dent in his mind, he is letting himself be guided away from you and or from the pit. And as you guide him away, like the tendrils of fire that are reaching towards him stretch thinner and thinner until there's just like a taut thread of fire stretching over to him. Cool. The fire demon, as he's going away, you hear like this almost like this thought form echo up out of the well, and the floor shakes and says, the moon is destroyed just as this world will be. Deether, I am your only friend.
It's not true. I could be your friend.
That was so unexpectedly
Ooh.
wholesome.
Right?
Yeah, and Deether sort of looks back and clutches a hand to his brow, and he says, I don't understand. Sarek, what are you doing?
I am going to attempt to try and do what Armaros was attempting to do and just like get him to come with us. Except I'm not going to be like, there's a moon lady and there's a my attempt will be, first off, I would love to use my eye for detail intelligence check to see if I can decipher any clues about like what motivates this dude. What is he real? What like keeps him going? Why isn't he corrupted yet?
Yeah, give me just give me an insight check. Actually, that's a good thing.
Okay. Yep. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So as you talk to him, as you hear what he's saying, as you hear what the demon is saying, you can tell Deether Caldera is like 3 beliefs are being solidified in his mind. 1, the world is doomed. The sun is dying. There's no saving anyone. 2, the town of servitude is destroyed. There's nothing left. It's been burnt to a crisp. 3, anyone he's ever loved is gone. Those are the 3 sort of things that he's wrestling.
Sure.
You can just like see, like by the bend in his back and the stoop of his shoulders, like he's carrying like an intense grief within him.
So I approach him on the other side of Armaros, and Sarek's like, I don't know about your family or friends, but what I do know is that we aren't beat yet. And if you help us, we can stop all of this from happening. And I sort of point like around the room and I'm like, you're a blacksmith and we need a blacksmith. The only way we can save everyone is with your help.
Nice. Yeah. Give me a persuasion check with advantage for your successful insight check.
Oh, come on, persuasion.
Nice. 16. Yeah. He nods and you see his eyes clear a little bit. He says, A blacksmith. Yes, that is what I was. Roll 1d8 plus your charisma modifier.
Oh
Sorry.
my lord. Okay. 1d8
lord.
plus charisma.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
1d8 plus.
Remember Jesse skidding around his kitchen, haunting his own apartment.
Just trying to make a pot of coffee.
It's all that charisma.
It's like something out of The Thing.
Where did I place that apron? Ew.
8.
No clothes
Nice.
in Cox
All
house.
right.
No
Well,
clothes in
you
Cox
can
house.
see that you've made a dent in Diether's mind. How are you following up on this?
I could either. This is like I'm going to buy them time. So seeing that they're successful, instead of going to help convince, I'm going to try to distract the fire demon.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything that's going to potentially damage Diether, though. So I'm going to hope that psychologically damaging the demon won't hurt him. So I'm going to like stab into his mind because we're all hearing the echoing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to stand above the well because I'm a very cocky, low wisdom character. And I'm going to stand on the flagstones and I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the demon. And I want the whispers to be like, you aspire to things above your station. Stay in your pit and heat your metals, weak demon.
Nice. Oh, damn. And are you trying to cast Dissonant Whispers like stealthily, or are you like pulling out your skull and crooking your finger?
No, I'm on top like,
Yeah. Diether holds out his hand in your direction before you can get the spell off, and he says, hold. Embernar has been a faithful companion to me for years. Our hearts are intertwined. Lead me to his care.
Is that him talking or him being manipulated?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because it could be. Maybe
Right.
they're not friends. Maybe he's just been convinced that they're friends, but they're
He's
not
a demon.
friends.
You
Well,
could
I mean, I'm
probably
friends with
run.
a couple demons.
Are you
I-
really friends with those demons?
I
You could
think I am.
probably roll an insight check to determine whether or not you think he's speaking his truth or whether he's speaking a falsehood that's poisoned by this demon. You rolled a 0. He is being poisoned by the demon.
Ow!
How?
Okay.
How?
Oh God. I have an idea.
Okay.
As I stand there and I'm like, he's being poisoned by this demon. Can I cast Detect Thoughts on the demon
Oh yeah, totally.
and like delve into his brain and probe
Awesome.
to see
You
his
initially learn the
truth?
surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment. Yes, if you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, emotional state, something that looms large in its mind. Yeah, okay. So you cast Detect Thoughts and you focus your mind on the demon. And like at first, there's like this cacophony of hellish shrieking as like the fires of this demon's plane assault your mind. But
That's
then
like my background music. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. You push all that aside and tune it out. You know, tune the focus. And then like all you hear echoed over and over is this booming voice, mine, 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 mine. That's what you hear as you like examine this demon's thoughts.
Mhm. Can I probe more?
Sounds like it likes to dig.
Yeah. This demon, not
I
terribly
feel like this is the cell. I feel like I'm J-Lo. And I'm
It
entering
rolled.
his mind.
It rolled a 1.
Can I find the baby version of him and drown him?
Is that what it does? That is what it does in Cell, isn't it?
Yeah, she finds the child version.
Dude, I haven't watched that movie in so long, but it's,
It's
such a
so
good movie.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, continue. Sorry.
Is there a relationship between Cell and Cube?
Those are two very different movies.
Okay, for some reason I have them linked in my mind.
Cell is
yeah.
the one with the suspension where she
Right.
goes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you delve deeper into the thing's mind, and I think you gain insight into its reasoning, this emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. Okay, so this creature is feeling fear, but specifically the fear of loss. You can tell that it has a strong attachment to Deether. So there might actually have been something of truth to when Deether was saying, hold this, our hearts are intertwined, right? And it seems to think that this world, this plane, is going to tear itself apart. There's going to be nothing left. But if it can grab hold of Deether, it can pull him through into its plane of fire, and then they can live together for eternity.
That's not all.
Maybe we should just let them go.
What?
You two were made for each other.
A little romantic. But Jeff needs his sword.
Yeah, I need my awesome gloves. We all have awesome things we need from this guy.
I don't think we should kill him though. I think we should.
Yeah, I was gonna moonbeam him, but maybe not. I'm rethinking this.
Yeah, we're gonna take the demon's heart, you guys.
No, he's not a solar demon. When
you delve into his mind, he very clearly is a demon from some fire plane. He's not a solar demon. He's a fire elemental.
Oh,
solar being radiant energy, fire being fire.
So his heart is useless to you.
So is the objective for us
Let science decide.
to
We have to convince them
both of them?
that the world isn't ending. Okay, well that's my action. Can I still talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to do dissonant whispers as I stand above the thing, like with my skull and my candle in hand. And he's like, no. And then I look into his mind. I put those things away. And then pop a squat right at the edge of the, just get down on my haunches right at the edge of the well and look in. And I'm like, hey there, buddy. Listen, it's not that bad. The world's not ending. We can rebuild it together. You don't have to go back to the fire plane, and you really don't need to take Deether with you. He's not gonna be able to survive that. Okay? Yeah. It's all right. The world's fine. We're gonna be fine. We just need your help.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage for seeing the inner thoughts of this demon.
Wow.
I think the creature knows that you're inside of its brain watching
probably.
Its thoughts, and it's like that's its reaction to you.
He hissed at me like a cat.
Yeah. And Kara, what do you do?
I'll just go up next to Aya. I mean, you said half the runes are left, but that's what will separate them from each other, right? So
yeah, are you trying to rebuild the rest of the runes?
I think I'm gonna wait on that until we determine that we certainly cannot take both of them with us. So I'll just sit down next to Aya and I'll take the opposite approach and I will say, maybe the whole world is ending. Maybe everything here is ending, but what we would love is to take you to the moon, which is not the world. And then, we can sort things out before you just go to another plane of existence. So why don't you just come with us to the moon and the world doesn't matter. And we'll just figure it out from there.
Awesome. That sounds like a persuasion roll. Please roll for me.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
You're aiming for a 12. Oh,
Damn
God.
it!
If only you had advantage.
If only you had advantage. Yeah. No.
No. No.
I think the demon just straight up, you two can tell now. The demon just doesn't trust you at all. Your interlopers hate you. You can feel this anger radiating out of the well at you. It's hissing at you like a cat.
Which honestly makes it just cuter to me. Because the fact that that's its reaction is to hiss at us instead of lacerate us to death with tentacles tells me he's not that bad of a guy.
Yeah.
Totally. Decent demon once you get to know him. Armaros, while Aya and Ankara are doing that at the edge of the well, what are you doing over next to Deether?
When you say that the fire line is taut, does that mean he can't walk any further? Because I'm just trying to walk him further away.
No, you can continue walking him further away. I think if you try to coax him to leave the armory, he actually just stops at the doorway and puts his hand on the door and says, "No, this is my home." But he'll go anywhere within the armory with you. Is there anywhere specific you'd like to lead him to?
No, not really. I was trying to
just as far away from the pit as possible.
It seems like the range doesn't seem to matter as much, I guess, right?
Well, having him further away from the well is definitely having an effect. Like you can tell the grasp that this demon has on him is weaker.
Okay.
So like maybe you like sit him down on a bench over near like the quenching barrels. Are you talking to him while you're doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll attempt a persuasion as well, but I'm like, actually, does Sark, do you have charisma?
I do not. I have, you know
He
what? I
does.
do.
Let's do charisma.
I do have charisma.
So I'm like about to speak, but I kind of realize the best thing I can come up with basically is weird explanations that are non-martial. So I look over at Sarek and I'm like, I'm going to help you make your next argument.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, that guy over there, he's real smart.
He's going to say something really nice to you, I think.
I love it. I love that you're this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the fire demon surges up the well and the ropes of flame like thicken and wrap around Deether's wrists as the demon says, Deether, we have been together for years. Do not do this to me. Let's see. That's a fail. You know, Deether's sitting on the chair and he looks up at you, Sarek, and he says, what have you to say to me? What do you say in response? You feel like this burning heat of anger from the forge.
Yeah, Sarek looks at this guy and then looks at his demon, and I say to both of them, there's no reason the two of you can't work together with us. We need both of you. You're stronger together, and we can see that. Why not join us and help us save this world? A world that you can come back to and start anew. Maybe.
Yeah, roll me persuasion with advantage.
Oh, persuasion.
You
Take the
rolled
20.
a 20.
You are
Not
so
quite a
lucky
crit.
you have
Oh,
Very, very, very good.
You're so lucky you.
Give me a 1d8
advantage.
plus 4 this time, giving you an
Oh
extra
my goodness.
for Armaros' help. Armaros, how are you reinforcing his words?
How'd I get
Uh,
less?
Nodding lovingly behind him, or what he thinks looks lovingly.
He's my
Very
hype
nice.
man. But the hype man who nods lovingly. Yeah.
Instead of being like,
Crosses
oh,
arms.
snap. He's like,
It's just frowning baby face.
He slow claps. That's all he does. Is just tries to start clapping.
Like, yeah, after thinking, like when he says, you can help us save the world, I'm like, yes, by giving me a really good sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see like his ears sort of perk up as you say sword, and he just sort of looks at you. Aya, what do you do?
okay. So when you said he's like interloper, does that count as actively hostile towards me? Or is that just like he doesn't like me?
He doesn't like you. He's not actively hostile because he's not like attacking you.
So happy you said that. In that case, I'm going to cast friends on him.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. I think
Okay,
he has to make a. Oh, no, I think it just works.
No, you just have advantage on charisma
Yeah,
checks.
but it's concentration. So I'm going to cast friends. And as I cast friends,
That
I'm going
releases
to-
your detect thoughts.
That's fine. Because
Yep.
I already kind of know what's going on now.
Yep, totally.
I'm gonna cast friends on him, and then I'm gonna say, listen, buddy, I know you and Deether belong together, but you can't force somebody to be with you. If you really love them, you gotta let them go. If you love something, you gotta let that bird fly. Okay? Like, I understand. No one understands the relationship between demon and mortal more than I do. Okay, buddy? And I know that these relationships can be strained, but you two need each other if the world is ending now more than ever. And I bet you Deether does want to stay with you, but forcing him to stay with you with your creepy tentacle magic is not the way to do it, honey. You're being very needy right now. You're being very manipulative. You're better than this. How long have you been together? How many years? You can't do this to Deether.
Oh, honey. You can't do this.
It's not cute.
Not cute, honey.
All right, give me a persuasion check with
Okay.
advantage,
Okay.
of course.
Why? Why? I'm so bad at it.
That is actually incredible. You have a +3 to persuasion.
I know.
You're only aiming for a 12 here, Aya. Yeah.
Wait. Would you say that was performance, though? Performative in nature? Because I'm proficient in performance.
Make your argument. In what manner is this performance?
If it pleases the court.
It's performance because as I'm standing at the edge of the well, and I'm trying to sort of create or relate to him in a way that I relate to my patron, Atikusu.
I would also back that up with you were performing friendship with him.
I think I've heard of that sex act before.
Man.
Okay, wait. Okay. Can we say I was being deceptive? Because obviously my relationship with Atikusu is terrible.
Yes, I will say you're being deceptive in this. There was an element of manipulation in what you were doing. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Because I'm proficient in deception.
All right.
So I feel like my chances are better.
That gives you a +2 as well?
Yes. So can we just say that I roll? Because I don't want to reroll. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. I'm willing to call this a deception check, and you got a 12.
Thank you. You're a kind and benevolent GM. So I have a 5 in deception, so that would make it a 12.
Yeah. Give me 1d6.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Finally a good roll.
Yeah, like you can see the demon sort of like slinking back deeper into its chamber and losing its grip on Deether. Inkara, what are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna try to continue figuring those runes out now.
Cool. Yeah, give me another Arcana check. You're aiming for a 12. Damn, that's great. Yeah,
I did it, Stephen. I got higher than a 12.
Look, that actually very impressive. Very well done.
Acknowledge me.
I just gotta say, Inkara, you're doing way better than Aya. I don't.
Yep. For once, for one episode.
Okay. So, Inkara, I'm imagining that you are somehow like building this spell back up in order to cut off the demon from Deether. What does that look like? What are you doing?
I feel like Aya has their attention, so
yeah,
they're looking at her, and I'm behind her doing some like Doctor Strange
cool.
moves, the sparks and stuff.
Yeah. You're like inscribe a circle that's like whirling around and
yeah, like somersaults and stuff.
Cool. So I think like another tendril of fire leaps up out of the pit and like lashes out in Deether's direction. And then it smacks against this wall of force that your repaired runes have erected. And it sort of like shrieks in rage. Please roll 1d8 plus 2. Oh, whoo. Yeah, Armaros, as you stand next to Deether, you can see that like the two tendrils of fire connecting to him are like almost like razor wire thin, and his eyes are almost entirely clear of the shadow, and he turns and looks at you. What do you do?
He just like turns and looks at me?
Yeah. And I think he says, a sword?
My eyes perk up because I can talk about that. And I'm like, yes. I was given the materials from a moon lady. No. 2 weird twin people. And I'm told that this sword will be more powerful than what I currently have, which is, of course, of great import to me, and that you are one of the only people skilled enough to make this sword happen.
Yeah. Do you bring out the broken pieces?
Yeah.
Cool. Give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Oh my Gerb. 19.
Hey, 19 crushes it. Absolutely.
I'm like, and I hold it up and I look at him really sad. I'm like, will you be my friend? And make a sword so I can kill stuff.
Oh, huh. Yeah, awesome. This is compelling, Armaros. Roll 1d8 plus 2.
Or 6.
6. Nice. So he's at 36 out of 40. You've almost sealed the deal in terms of convincing this guy that he needs to let go of the pain in his heart. And he picks up the pieces of the sword and he says, I know this blade. We forged it to battle the demons from the sky. But it was worthless. And then the fire demon in the pit echoes back up, worthless, like booming voices, worthless, worthless, worthless.
And you just see me raspberry down at it like, stop that.
Yeah, and like Deether sort of like scowls in the direction of the pit. And he mutters to himself, and he mutters, I can do better. Sarek, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit both of them with more persuasion and be like, the two of you know, a blade is only as strong as the one who wields it. And this man, he is worthy. All thumbs up, let's do this shit.
Amazing. Yeah, roll persuade.
Persuade these fools.
Oh no. Ooh.
Boy, I had advantage though because of
Eye for detail. You also complimented his shoes.
yes, he has great shoes. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know who that character. Thank you, random fifth character that just walked in the scene.
You're like, yeah, a sword is only as strong as, and Deether's like, yeah, a sword is only as strong. And then you said the one who wields it, and he's like, what? Aya, how do you follow this up?
I'm gonna
compliment his shoes.
I guess like I'm trying to figure out how this fight's working. So we're healing this because I've been watching the health bars.
We're building up like evidence in favor of Deether making a decision.
Yeah,
right?
So I gotta pull a Phoenix right and be like, objection.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Seal the deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So standing on the well.
Yeah. There's like
going
magical sparks flying as Ankara like repairs.
Yeah. I'm gonna make eye contact with Deether and say, Deether, the man who stood in town sanitizing rags for the sick and the wounded would have never given up on his town. He would have never given up on his people. We're asking you once again, just don't give up. Help us again once more.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
The world is dying, but it doesn't mean that your spirit has to die with it, friend.
Peter Gabriel.
Epic. All right, roll your persuasion with advantage because you have friends running.
Okay. Thank God I have advantage because my rolls are ass today.
Please roll 1d6, Aya. Oh!
She didn't do it,
Guys.
did she?
I did.
Guys,
Y'all, I'm banned from rolling. Like
you're
I'm
chipping away. You're chipping at everybody's participation counts.
Everybody is helping.
Everyone's
true.
contributing here.
That was
I'm
a really,
helping.
really moving speech. And you can see Deether, like he puts a hand on Armaros' shoulder and he says, I would like to help, but I don't know if I can leave my companion. And he looks back at the well, and there's fires spraying up out of it as the walls of the ring close in. And Kara, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm walking up to him and I'm like, look at me. Like, his face, look at me. Don't look back. You can do this. You must.
I'm imagining like Catherine Hepburn.
That's exactly what I hear.
You must do it. You've got to.
You've got
The world is at stake. Please, dear fucking God, persuasion students, that one I'm rolling again.
Yeah. You got a 12. Yay!
Hey!
Yes. And I need a 1d6 from you, Ankara.
I need a 3, right?
Yep, you need a 3. Come on, you got like a 40% chance.
Yeah!
Awesome. All right, so as you're like gripping his head, you're like, you must do this. Let go of the pain of your past. Like the wall of runes just like shimmers into place around the well, and there's like this roaring from the floor as like fire sprays up towards the ceiling and blows out of the hole in the top of the armory. And Deether stands up, and he's got these like blackened, slimy tendrils gripped around his arms now, and he just like shucks them off, like pulls them off of his arms, and then he takes this cloth that's containing these broken shards of sword, and he hands it back to Armaros, and he says, "If there's any hope in this world, it lives with you, not with that. What is it you need?" And that, I think, is where we should take our 5-minute break for today's episode. Well done, convincing Deether.
Yeah, that was great. All right, well, we'll be back. We're going to take a short break. Everyone go tinkle or go eat or do both at the same time. We don't care. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hang tight.
All right, friends, welcome back to the Sunfall Cycle. What's going on? Let's find out. I don't know. All right, so you've just broken this demon's hold on Deether Caldera, and as like the fire roars up to the ceiling, like you can tell that the fire from the pit is just sort of burning itself out as this creature is descending deeper and deeper into the depths, and the stones begin growing colder and the light dims until it's just
it's not a solar demon, so I guess it's of no use, right?
Yeah, no, you identified this was a fire demon from some sort of plane of fire. And once the fire is out, it's the pit is like 2 feet deep, and it's just like a paved stones on the bottom. Yeah, and Deether stands and looks at you, and he reaches down and grabs this massive hammer from leaning up against the fire pit. He hefts it in one hand and puts it over his shoulder and says, "So, what is it you need?"
We have a place to take him. Is that correct, group? If I understand.
Yes.
We have a new home for you. You'll be safe. Then we need to find a mid-tier solar demon, if you know of one. I will take its heart, and then you can make the sword, amongst other things, which you can actually make immediately. We need to get you to work.
You say all of this to him.
Yep.
He says, yes, of course. I will join you wherever it is you say you have need of me. But mid-tier solar demon. Yes, I think I know of one.
That's incredibly useful.
That's so convenient.
You said...
Who? What? Where?
You reminded me of cleansing the bandages for the sick.
Yeah.
The sick house was destroyed.
It was. We were there. We saw it burn. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it still resides deep within the foundations of the house.
Any advice?
That's not far from here.
It is not. It was merely a few hundred feet up the street to the right.
Question. Should we take him back first?
No, we don't have to. We have the brands that Saloon gave us. Anybody we give it to immediately is teleported to the men.
You need me to forge you some brands, some teleportation.
No. We have sun brands.
No, we
from
have-
the moon
we already
goddess.
have
It
them.
makes sense.
We have them. We're not branding people, okay? We're not that
No.
type of group.
We're just going to
But
stick
you
a
can
shard of the
give-
sun inside your body.
For
Give
cattle.
him the
perhaps.
materials that he needs.
No, we're not physically branding people with hot metal. That would be,
No, just the sun itself.
You
It's much
that'd
simpler.
be kind of cool.
kind of
Yeah.
We should all get matching brands.
channel that needs.
It would be a
consistent
team building
feed.
exercise.
We can get matching
Can
brands.
you
that
make us
Tim-
brands?
Can you make us a Tim brand that we can all put on our arms?
I'm $50 per emote, but if you buy them in groups of 3, I sell them for 60.
Well played.
Just call it an emote.
It's a good deal. I actually think I'll have you commission it for somebody else and then just kind of copy him onto my own channel as well, probably.
I understand if you need to get a lesser smith to emulate my work.
Yeah, just one of us will get it, and then the rest of us will just copy that one from their arm.
Just imagining someone trying to trace a brand.
Tattoos are just body emotes. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, body emotes.
Yeah, body emotes. Yeah.
Anyways, this group's very chatty, but they have some materials to give to you. There's an even more chatty lady on the moon that will talk to you for as long as you'll.
Do you need your demon to work?
You keep talking about this moon, but he looks up into the bright daylight sky. I don't understand what it is.
You'll understand.
It's just as crazy as it sounds.
Wonderful.
Give him the materials, group.
Give him my feathers.
Yeah, I don't know. Here.
The torques. Yeah.
Have my torques.
Yeah, I'll give him my stuff, but I'm like not sure about it.
Yeah, he starts looking at them. He says, yes, I see. And he like holds one of the feathers up to the light. The craft store ship is of the finest quality. Well, I can certainly do something with these, but you said you had a workspace. I will need finer tools and materials than I possessed here in servitude.
Yeah,
give him the brand. Just do it and get it over with.
Yeah, no. So we have a forge set up for you. Hopefully you don't need your demon to work, because I don't know how we would transfer a brand to him. And then without warning, I'm just going to like touch my brand on him so it transfers, and he'll probably just be like, whoop.
It's like that thing in the Matrix where he's like, and then it goes all digital.
Okay,
He gets sucked up into a phone.
I kind of look at Aya, my head cocks to the side. I'm like, tried to ignore it, but you kept saying it. Did you think they were friends?
They probably are.
He kind of like looks at the rest of the group and he's like, I understand I don't have a firm grasp on sex, but I'm almost certain that this woman is terribly, terribly wrong and wounded, probably.
What? No. It's not about. You can be friends with people that you don't fuck.
Yeah.
No.
That's not from my experience.
The demon was a parasite. It was.
No. I'm going to walk over to the well and stick my head down in there.
Yeah.
And be like, how are you doing, friend?
There's,
like you said, it's 2 feet deep and it's gone. It was
there's the stone floor.
Yes, no, he's not there anymore. Like all
foot hole.
It feels slightly warm to the touch to your cheek.
So now I look back at the group and I go, if there's a chance that we need to put her down, I will do it.
You can try, fat man.
Are you still talking to that hole in the ground?
No, I'm talking to you. While hunched over the hole in the ground. Yeah. Like very Gollum-esque.
Are you hissing?
A little bit.
I think that you guys should practice friendship, maybe.
Anyways, let's go
perform friendship.
Demon.
Yeah.
Yes. Let us go kill the demon.
Before we get there, let's be very clear. It's not anybody's friend either.
Well, not all demons are friend, but things simply aren't that simple, Armaros.
You're batting like 1,000 right now on demons being friends.
Okay, well, I happen to be friends with a creature that maybe in some definition of the term could be considered a demon.
I feel like you don't know what friendship is.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of concerned here.
Yes, friendship is any relationship in which you both get something positive out of it, whether it be emotional support or companionship or power overwhelming.
What was and in my case, it's back home.
Well, at least one of those desires is met, and therefore a demon can be a friend. But I don't see either of you launching eldritch blasts, so I guess I've made my point already.
No, I'm no lawyer. But I'm pretty sure what you just said is no. What? Eldritch blasts?
I don't think that's how any of that works. That's not how that
your
works.
heart.
I feel like that's a pretty fair thing to say.
Thank you.
Friendship requires eldritch blasts? I don't.
No, not all the time. There's lots of different kinds of friendship, and it seems very irrational to say that an entire type of being cannot have friendship.
Rational? she just watched a man nearly get turned into a mindless black-eyed zombie, and she called the thing doing it to him a friend.
Well, I peered into that creature's mind, and the only
Yeah.
reason he was doing it was because he wanted to save him from the end of the world. He was
So
going
all
to try
these
to take
people-
him to the fire plane with him.
So,
So
if I
all these
cover
people
your
we've
face
killed-
until you stop breathing, because I don't want you to see the horrors that'll come in the future.
That is a mercy, and I would thank you.
I think out of canon, as a comedy side, I would decapitate her right now in this moment. Knowing that she comes back and there's no harm whatsoever.
Yeah.
Funny to like, shink.
But a lot of people smother their children when they know that the end of the world is at hand.
Listen, I think this is a conversation we're going to be having for a while, and I really
This
don't
is
feel like
why
I'm
I
the right
pay
one
for
to tell you
friends
this.
back home. Servants make excellent friends. They can't walk away.
Animals
Yes.
make good friends.
They depend on you for food.
We are literally the worst group of people. Animals are friends.
So, are y'all walking in the direction of the burnt out
Yeah,
thick house?
I
Yeah.
think so. Armaros
Yeah.
is just a little bit. He looks behind himself a little bit more often now.
He's like, how did I become the one who understands
Yeah.
the friendship? Right. All right, fantastic. So, you walk down the side of the street. Let's see. We'll mark down 1 tick on the clock. We'll put that up to
Tick.
987
Cool trailer.
block. Cool. And yeah, you walk down the side of this small canal where this stream is flowing in the direction of, and you can actually see it now that you're out of the armory. So leaving the armory, there's a bridge in front of you that leads to the back of the temple to Coronet. And then off to the right, there's a path that follows the canal. And some 100 feet down the path, there's a house that's entirely burnt out, just a shell of a house. Rubble and burnt columns and beams and stuff has fallen into the street and even into the canal. It's not making like a bridge across the canal or anything, but it's like the facade of the house sort of sloughed off and fell. And that's what you approach. There's actually no way to get past it without going through it. So let's see. Yeah. As you approach, you can see that there's just fire blackened wood everywhere. There's like curled paint peeled off of all of the columns. You all recognize this place. This is the location that you ran into to pull all those people out of. And sort of true to your memory of this event, there's like a whole bunch of personal belongings sort of strewn about inside this area. But they're all burnt up. But there's no corpses. There's no bodies burnt inside of this thing. What do you do?
Hello?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yoo-hoo.
Yeah, can I do like a eye for detail to figure out like, hey, all those, well, to determine whether what we did in the past was we saved people and they all got out, or whether those people are just mindless, dark-eyed zombies.
You make a perception check.
I will do that.
Yeah, so like glancing around, using your eye for detail, you can tell that like you can't see any evidence of what happened to the people you saved after they were saved, right? You don't know if they turned into mindless zombies as a result of, whatever turned people into mindless zombies, or if some of them maybe are the same people that you have been interacting with back at camp. But what you can say is your efforts that day were greatly effective. And you actually remember looking back in your mind, Sarek, as you were leaving after escorting the last few individuals out of the sick house. You remember this like star falling from heavens and smashing down through the top of the sick house, sort of like exploding it from the inside. And you glance inside and you can see that what you originally thought was a solid floor is actually just like a few broken, shattered pieces of foundation, and then like the black depths below. You can see something down there. There's a deep ruined crater like smoking with small purple tendrils of mist and the occasional flicker of like radiance echoing off of the burnt out husk down below.
Okay. I mean, is there anything that besides like awesome detail that I can share with the group that will like give us an advantage in trying to figure out what the hell's going on in here?
I mean, what you identified is that there was a hidden, like a non-obvious compartment below the floor where this solar demon may have fallen.
Yeah, I quietly, without being like, "Hey, look, it's a solar demon," like point at the place where I believe it to be, and that we should like approach cautiously.
Yeah. Oh, Bronze, I think you're muted.
I'm whispering.
Very, very quietly.
Dissonantly.
We should take it unawares because we don't know. The lances almost killed us.
This is the $150 package, by the way.
This thing is bigger than a lance. You guys remember? A lance did like 76 damage. This is like, my character wouldn't know that. The lance almost murdered me in one hit. This is bigger than that.
This is Bronze ASMR.
So we gotta be sneaky. Take it unaware
Okay.
before it lights up.
I think that if we approach it from a different side,
Why are you moving around so much?
because I'm
Why are
trying to
you
get,
moving around so
You
much?
gotta
trying
jerk
to get-
one side of it.
I'm trying to get in both.
There you go.
I'm trying to get in both your ears.
Ah, a
It's-
patron
it's-
of the arts, I see.
Blind roll.
Oh my god. That is Bronze ASMR, but then she'd be like,
Yesterday, on my bicycle, I poked my taint.
and we'll be like, oh, God.
That sounds
It's not helping
awful.
us. Yeah.
Ah, that sounds like painful.
Also hard to do.
Some of those seats are kind of pointy.
Mm,
They like come to a point, and
Yep.
if you get off wrong,
Yeah.
Oh,
Straight in
that's
the
what I
tank.
just said, right?
Okay, I see.
Steven, I'm sorry. That face says to me, Amsterdam biking is popular. I'm sorry, Steven. You're below me in the Zoom call, so I'm just gonna pat your head.
All right, so the demon's dangerous, but I remember in my dream killing them quite easily, actually, or whatever that was.
But those were mid-sized demons, and those were small demons. This is mid-sized. This is like
Yeah,
next.
it's like incrementally larger, I guess. But with our combined friendship powers, we should be able to do this.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Well, I get up in front of it and I try not to die, and you guys kill it.
Yes, just imagine how we killed Tim, but just bigger.
Well, in that case, I guess I won't be doing anything anymore.
Bye.
No, but like, imagine if you were us, and we wanted to kill Tim, and imagine the ways that you think we would try to kill Tim.
Oh, wait, can we kill this thing? Aren't we
Yes,
supposed
we
to
need
like?
its heart.
We have
It's
to-
hard.
we need its still beating heart.
Oh, we just need its heart. Got it. I just
Yeah.
figured that its
Yeah,
heart
it'll
wouldn't
still
beat if it was
Yes,
dead.
we need its
But
heart.
yeah.
No,
I
no.
just added the still beating part because it sounded cool. I don't know. I think it could be a dead heart. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen.
Got it.
Armaros.
We can kill it. Okay.
You are going to slam through the floor and into this tentacle demon with the full might of your weight and your force in your body, and we will follow you.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that actually.
It's all you. Go.
yes. Okay, before
Go.
you go,
Break the floor.
Almaros.
Go.
Before
Go.
you go, there's
Go.
something
Okay, as you said
behind
that,
your
yeah,
ear. If
I
I
like
could just
step back. Is there anything to jump off of, Steve? To break the floor?
Yeah, absolutely. There's like a beam that's thrust out over this open space. It gives you,
Okay.
like,
So my plan is
Shield slam. Captain America.
to just jump with enough force. I like test the wood a little bit, like press it down. I think,
yeah,
okay,
it's a little bit springy, kind of like a diving board.
I'm gonna jump, shatter through the floor, and then try to smash with my flail.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check for the
Oh my
jump.
God. Yo!
Nice. Yeah, so you like jump a little bit on this like slightly tensile bar of wood, and then do like a leaping dive, smashing through one of the broken panels of the floor, falling into the darkness below, striking out with your flail. Make an attack with your flail.
21.
Yeah. You land straight on top of the thing, your flail scoring a deep gouge in its side. And as you hit the ground with a shock, you look up and you see you're standing in front of a pulsing pod of black flesh with faint blue fire running over it. It's like 9 feet tall and like 5 feet wide at the widest point. It's like an egg of some sort. But
wait. Just the tentacle is that large?
No, that's all there is. Yeah. From inside, near the top of the pod, a blue light shines faintly through the semi-translucent.
Orbish?
Orbish.
Orb-shaped, maybe?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I grab that and consume it one way.
It's inside the pod.
No, I know. You can't even eat it either.
Yeah. And the flesh of this massive pod, now that you're looking on it, it's black with blue fire rippling up and down it.
Wait, I missed something.
It looks very similar to Tim's flesh.
It's solar. It's bigger. When I hit it for 9 piercing, does anything happen?
No, you left a scratch mark in its surface, but the impact of your weapon doesn't seem to have made any serious effect.
Okay. They hear like a deep sigh come from in there, I guess, where I just crashed through. And I'm like, it's a big pulsing egg thing.
A what?
Pulsing egg?
Yeah, you can all look down through the broken hole in the floor and see.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna sit on it and wait 9 months? What?
I don't think that's how that.
I don't think she understands the gestation period of most.
No, I don't.
That's how chickens and humans are born.
Thank you. See, I knew that.
Hoppies, yes.
She's
of
a
course.
druid. It's true.
Yes, I didn't think about hoppies.
It's an egg?
Yeah, you're all able to get down there and examine it.
Okay, I climbed down too.
Does it have a heat source, Stephen, anywhere at all?
I mean, like it itself is slightly
Okay.
warm to the touch,
Just
and
it
its
is
fire
warm,
is like
okay.
rippling over.
And we all see the blue orb inside.
Yeah, up at the top.
We gotta hatch this goddamn egg.
How do you heat up something that's? We have to set it
I can
on
make
fire.
a bonfire.
Yes, we have to set it on fire.
I've got a bonfire. Okay, I have that spell. Can I use that spell, Steven?
Yes.
Wait, what kind of space are we in? Are we all gonna like die of inhalation?
I have flaming spear. I could literally shoot a flaming spear out and
That works too.
next to like the egg part of where the orb is, maybe.
Oh yeah, let's see how it reacts first. Well, does yours use a spell slot?
Yeah.
Okay, save yours because mine's a cantrip.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna create bonfire underneath the egg.
You create a bonfire underneath the egg, and your bonfire flashes into existence, burns merrily, and the egg doesn't react.
It needs to be hotter. Remember the oil. We need to burn it.
It's not reacting at all.
Yeah.
Do any of you want to try any knowledge check?
Yeah. I was just gonna maybe should do that.
What knowledge do you want to call on, Ankara?
I mean, would it be like nature?
You could probably call on nature to
Solar
help
deep
understand.
eggs. So I don't know if that's like arcana or nature or something. I'll try nature. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen this before.
Indeed, you have not. It's
It
true.
looks like an egg.
Aya, Armaros, Sarek.
Can I flip through my tome that my patron gave me? In like my book of secrets.
Totally.
Do you want to give me advantage?
Damn, Armaros. Actually, Armaros, you look at this thing and you recognize this kind of thing from like time you spent out training in the garden. This is like a chrysalis, like you see from butterflies or moths, but the surface of this chrysalis has hardened like extremely, and whatever's inside it is trapped in there without some kind of external help.
Oh, it's not an egg.
Released.
It's a cocoon.
Aya, it sounds like you were consulting your book.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an Arcana roll.
Okay.
Yo.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like some sort of chrysalis to you as well, but the energies around it feel dormant, like it won't hatch without some strong influence. It does seem to be containing a dormant solar demon, something that has transformed from a lesser state into a greater state. But it appears as though the chrysalis has hardened beyond the demon's ability to break free, and there is magical energies in the chrysalis itself that are protecting it very specifically.
Well, this doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it kind of does.
No, the whole point of a cocoon is so you can leave it.
Right, but if this wasn't
something's wrong.
Yeah, clearly, maybe it was this. Maybe this is like a defense mechanism. Like it wasn't a good time for the cocoon to open, so it activated like a defense, and now this thing is lying in like a slumber, like a bear. It's like hibernating. We gotta crack this bitch open.
How do we do that?
No idea. There's some magic emanating from it.
Can you determine what magic that is?
Can't. All you know is that there's some sort of specific magical defense embedded in the flesh of this chrysalis. It's not going to respond to any old weapon or any old spell. There's some sort of pretty specific lock and key.
Is this like that wall from a long time ago?
Oh yeah.
The black wall?
We never figured out what's behind.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Okay.
But I'm glad that you remember that.
I very much remember that because I really want to know what is behind that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my investigation for Eye of Detail to figure out if we have anything on us that can solve this problem, or if we need to go someplace else and find a solution?
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
I just want to know.
I'm imagining all of us like emptying out our packs.
Just dumping.
Yeah, Sarek, you perform a fairly thorough investigation fairly quickly. Like you can tell that nothing that you have with you right now will help you, but you do have a smith on the Gardens of the Moon.
Oh, he could probably crack a crystal.
Magical weapons.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make something for us to use to open it.
It comes to you that your best bet is probably trying to see him and get something.
Or Tim. Tim's a solar demon. Tim might know about these types of things. I mean, he's just a baby.
Tim might know something about these kinds of things.
Steven's literally like, you guys, this is your best answer. And you're like, or no.
Tim's the best answer.
No, there's no or here.
Well, Tim is just a
reading
baby.
A book, and your book's like, and that's why they knew he was evil. You like put the book down, you're like, or he's not. You know?
I'm not, but I just said Tim's just a baby. He hasn't gone through his puberty yet. After his puberties, we could probably ask him, but he hasn't gone through that.
Because right now,
yet,
all he knows is warmth.
Yeah,
if he went through some sort of transformation where he wrapped himself in some hardened surface to protect himself while he underwent some sort of change, maybe after.
Yeah, but he hasn't gone through that yet, so we should just ask the smith.
Yeah.
Is this egg large enough for us to take back with us?
Absolutely.
No.
All 5 of us.
Because you said it's 9 feet tall.
It's like 8 feet tall and like 5 feet around. It's
we probably don't want to take it to the moon anyway. Because it's a giant solar demon might be bad. So should we bring him back here to consult? Does he need to look at it? I'm asking the question to the party, by the way, Steven, not you. Should we bring him back here to consult and see what's going to crack this open?
Here's my thoughts.
An entire war against these things. I'm guessing we just tell him what happened. He'll know what to do.
Yeah, I feel like we just need to go talk to this dude. So my thoughts on this are on our way out. Why don't we, if you remember, there's several locations going back the other way we have not ever explored yet.
But this one has a shiny blue orb, and I really want it.
They might have shiny blue orbs, and if we die, we end up back there anyway. So we might as well,
I hear you, Sark, and it pleases me that you're willing to have this adventurous spirit, but I think we just accomplished the task at hand, and then we get to experiment with new routes.
Okay.
Literally defeating this thing will get us better gear to then go to new places. And
I hope he tells us we can't defeated, and you waste everyone's time. I hope that's what you get out of this.
I just mush my face up against the chrysalis and say, "Tell me your secret."
As they're doing this, I'm just like, I assume that like one way is the way that Sark wants to go, and the other way is like where we go to get the moon, and I'm just kind of changing direction based on what people are saying. Or are we doing just so we're gonna do okay.
And as she's pressing against the egg, the camera pans back to me, and I give my best like Jim look from the off.
Yes, you look straight in the camera.
Tell me your secret.
Okay, let's go back.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So you're heading back to the barricade camp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To touch the bronze statue,
the brazier.
To return to the Gardens of the Moon. So you walk back up around past the Temple to Coronet. You walk back up the Avenue of the Immortals. You walk through the Marketplace of the Sun. You walk down the Holy Approach. You walk to the barricade camp.
There had to be a shortcut we missed.
Well, the shortcut is through the Temple to Coronet.
Right.
Where Crazy Man is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ishmael. No, I'm not doing it. On principle, I'm not doing it.
Mr. Hey Drax.
That, yeah.
The Sunfire Brazier. And you hear like musical laughter as you open your eyes, lying on the soft grass.
So good to see. Oh.
You hear this, and then you hear this. Yeah, I just line him up and knock him down. It's just keep working hard. You hear this. You're so entertaining. It's been so long since I've had anyone to talk to.
What? You just hear from the back. What? What?
Here like 25 times.
And then Saloon appears next to you. Oh, it's you again. Well, you're back.
Yeah, I heard you talking shit.
Okay.
Oh.
Talking shit? No, I just welcomed our new friend. He's so... Have you seen him?
Yes, we don't have time for you.
God,
and I walk like directly to him.
Stop distracting the Smith. Right. He's got work to do. Okay, Saloon, put the girls away, all right?
She walks over to the pond and like starts skipping rocks.
What?
Yeah, you walk into the tall white tower, and in there's all of this gleaming metal forge equipment. There's a bellows and a forge, and it's burning with hot coals, and there's coke next to it, and there's a barrel of oil and a barrel of water and a barrel of what looks like blood and a barrel of what looks like midnight, and all sorts of things. And there's a huge silver anvil, and he's standing there with this hammer in his hand, and he looks at it and holds it out. And it's like glowing and sparkling with like, like Edward Cullen's skin in Twilight.
I knew you were fucking gonna say that.
It's literally, it's like covered in glitter, and he holds it out.
It's really pretty.
This guy is so fabulous. I'm like upset by it.
I really like the sparkling part.
I'm also just imagining Sarek like drawing it, but those little anime like ding dings, like little like drawing that around it.
This guy he's totally based off of major Alex Louis Armstrong
from Full Metal Alchemist.
He's totally got like sparkles in his eyes, and he's like, I always knew there was something special about this hammer, and now it's proven. And he like brings it down on some like iron bar that's red hot on the anvil, and just like sparks fly, and his hair flies. It's like slow motion.
Yeah,
exactly. And he quenches the iron bar in the barrel of water. He turns to you and says, well, I think you had something for me, right?
We have a job for you.
I like work. Keeps me busy.
All right. So you seem to know a lot about these solar creatures, because I'm assuming they completely destroyed your town and murdered everyone you loved.
A tragedy.
Right. Hopefully we were hoping to draw on your knowledge of them to ascertain how to break one out of a chrysalis esque hibernation state. Do you have anything? That
I'm
hammer?
assuming-
Can I borrow that for like an hour?
I'm assuming that you are all handing over the items that you received from.
We already did.
We already
before he
did.
left.
Oh yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
totally. He actually pulls out like the objects and starts like melting them down and smelting them together and hammering, etc. As he's talking to you, he says, "Break one out of its chrysalis. I've never heard of such a thing. These things, they transform."
Apparently, that's what we could determine from looking at it.
Yeah, clang, clang, clang.
What the trolley?
Ring, ring, ring with the bell. Kicks and shit.
Says, "The Knights of Astafan. I doubt they would know anything, but they used to work with men and women who might. The warlocks who worked for Astafan.
I'm a warlock.
Well, what do you know of this?"
I'm just saying, if you know what they would do, I could probably replicate it because I have a whole book. I'm super smart. Have you seen them? Like, you got to give me something because we came to you in good faith. You can't just give us a referral to another dude that then's going to refer us to another dude.
He shrugs and like rolls his massive shoulders, his muscles like rippling and bulging as he does. And he says, I heard rumor there was a man who could control these demons. They called him Utu, the Spear.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh.
Didn't we murder him?
Killed the shit out of him.
We
I
killed
think
him.
we killed him.
Get out of him.
He had some way with them.
Anyone else?
His documents.
Yeah, he's
his
dead.
tools.
Anyone
So where
else?
did he live? What house was he in?
He's a member of the palace. I'm sure he had rooms within the palace compound itself.
Do you mean to tell me if we were to go find his home and search it, like, do you have a lab? Come on, you got to help me out here.
Well,
You
hold on,
were
wouldn't his
the
body
member of
just
the
be-
town.
Wouldn't his
His
body
home
just
or-
be at the gate still?
Or his body.
Or his body? It should just be at the in the courtyard gate. We literally have to go past there anyway to get back to the demon. It might make sense to stop by.
What if he's? I mean, I haven't seen a lot of bodies around. Kind of seems like they all just up and left like years ago. Like there was nobody in the hospital.
That's because I saved them all. You're welcome.
You don't honestly believe that.
I very much do.
I heard their screams. Like you saved a good chunk, and I'm very proud of you for that.
Yes, a good chunk is more than
But-
enough.
Where's the rest of them?
Well, probably the guys we killed in that one place, and the guys we killed in that other place, and those guys we've killed several times. And oh, remember the place where we killed those guys? Probably there too.
He looks up and he says, "You saved people in the burning sick house?"
That was me, yes.
Oh,
I
you know
helped.
what
I
happens
helped.
all-
I helped too. I was a bear.
Yeah.
They moved out to a farm.
See? I sort of like
Beautiful
look back
farm.
at everyone like
It's
I did something good.
It has rolling fields of grain. It has flowers everywhere. There's lots of dogs for them all to play with.
Sarek, he's lying. Sarek, that's what my mother told me happened to my first dog. And I can tell you right now, that is not what happened to my first dog.
They aren't on a farm?
Wait, why would you say that then?
Better.
Sarek, he walks up to you. He says, "Here, put these on." He slaps something against your chest.
I look down.
There's a pair of black calfskin gloves with tiny threads of rust-colored metal woven in a pattern on the back, and then down the back of each finger, and then around the tip of each finger.
Oh, fancy gloves. Who cares about those people? I just put the gloves on.
Yeah, you put the gloves on, and you feel this like surge of murderous intent seize through your body and your heart before It calms slightly.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
Sarek, let me tell you about these gloves.
Please do.
Mm-mm. Is that where the hell did I put this information? Yes, these are the assassin's gloves.
Assassino.
They require attunement.
Assassino.
And they work as follows. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. In addition, any hit you score on a creature that is surprised is automatically a critical hit.
I can't even write this down fast enough.
I'm going to put it in chat.
Oh my god. I'm going to be jumping into barrels of hay right now. It's going to happen. I'm ready. Oh my lord. Done. Ready. Exciting.
He goes back and you hear the clang, clang, clang of hammer against bronze. And he dunks something in the barrel of midnight and pulls them out. And he turns to you and Kara and he says, "It took a little work, but I was able to save their eyes." And he holds out to you 2 thick bronze torques, capped with the bronze and ruby heads of a bear and a wolf, and a serpent and an eagle.
Cool.
And he hands them to you.
Thank you.
These are the torques of the shifter.
Torques of the shifter.
You now
do
transform
not.
into these animals.
They do not require attunement. So they work for you. They allow the wearer to tap into an animalistic rage at the moment of their transformation. During your transformation action, you may make a free attack using one of either your old or new form's attacks.
Oh.
Additionally, when you expend a spell slot to heal yourself in wild shape, you can add your wisdom modifier to the healing you receive.
That's dope.
I'm learning new things.
And then,
every-
I'm
after,
just standing there expecting with my hands out.
Yes.
after a few more minutes of light conversation about the nature of the sun demons and where you might find, something of use, he turns around and he has for you, Aya, a beautiful necklace of feather silvers that drapes around your neck and shoulders. This is the mantle of the White Raven.
What does it do?
This is a magic item that requires attunement.
I chuck off my ion stone.
You can attune up to 3 items.
Oh, never mind. I don't. I keep it.
Yeah. It has 3 charges and it recharges by the light of the moon. If you spend 2 charges, in place of your movement, you veer into the spectral form of the White Raven. You can teleport up to 30 feet to a destination that you can see. Each creature within your path of travel must succeed on a DC 14 dexterity saving throw, taking 1d10 plus 3 damage on a failed save or half on a successful save.
Shut up.
You may still take an action on a turn that you've used this ability. Or you can spend 1 charge as a reaction when struck by a melee or ranged attack, instantly veer into the spectral form of the White Raven. The attack misses you. You immediately reappear in any square in line of sight within 15 feet of your starting position.
And I just got stupid gloves.
Oh,
That's
Come
so
on.
cool.
gloves are pretty cool.
I can turn a raven, a spectral raven, and fly through people and do AoE damages, and then Eldritch blast them on the other side of it. I
Now-
can't.
You understand the power of white ravens.
I'm
And
not
of course-
excited. It's cool, I guess. Thanks, Steven.
Yeah. It's
whatever,
kinda
it's fine.
sucks, but whatever.
It's whatever.
He turns to you, Armaros, and he says, "It is true. This sword you brought me is beyond my current capabilities. I need you to bring me some powerful source of magic. The heart of a solar demon should help. But also," and he gestures to the forge, "the fire here is simply not hot enough. I need something hotter."
Yes, right. That's why we need to get inside of that chrysalis.
A little solar demon.
A baby solar demon? Would the baby solar demon be had enough?
He looks back at the forge, and then he looks back at you, and he says, I like the way you think.
Let's go get because you had a demon, but that demon's gone. But what if we get a baby solar demon?
Oh, son of a...
And he's friendly, and he can help you.
Mm-hmm.
He owes us one. He just likes warm things. You keep him in the forge. He'll be happy. He'll heat your metals for you.
We're going to bring a solar demon.
Yes, a baby solar demon, and he's fine.
He's a good boy.
You don't know what it is.
We know it's a
fire. It's a demon on fire in a pot.
We know Tim like no one else does.
It's true.
I
looked into his eye.
Yeah.
His big watery eye, and I saw
made eye contact.
Armaros, please.
It's the only way to
Stop
make his
him.
sword. This might be the first time Armaros is on our team on this one.
He needs a sword.
Well, okay. What kind of source do you need?
Well, he sort of steps back. He says, well, I've made a demon with Embernar. I made a deal with Embernar. He was serving me faithfully. His powers were strong. But for this, I need something even hotter.
Hotter than Embernar?
If you tell me you can secure a deal with this demon from the sun, that power might be enough to serve.
There it is.
And then he says, oh, by the way, I found this in the old forge before I got it running again. And he tosses something to you, Armaros.
Okay, catch it.
It's a glowing blue sphere.
Sorry.
Yo! All right.
That was loud. Since he's so nonchalant about it. He's so nonchalant about it. Like, oh, I thought he was going to toss him something shitty like a ring, like a consolation prize. Like, oh, this is for Jeff because Jeff didn't get anything cool. Instead, it's like fucking blue orb.
Oh, it's worse than that. It's like when you're a couple and you get a couple gift for somebody.
Just like that. I don't know what that means, but it's exactly.
I don't get it at all.
Everyone gets a gift that they wanted, and for me, I get something that we all get.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I get you.
Your gift, a donation to your favorite charity, Jeff.
Yeah.
A donation to the party.
Yeah, a donation to your favorite charity, the party. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, like he sees your crestfallen face a little bit, Armaros, and he goes over to you and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, my friend, you were invaluable in convincing me that there was some good left in this world. This sword is the instrument of that will. I will forge for you a better sword than you have ever held. Bring me the heart. Bring me the demon.
Well, one of those is super easy to do. The other one will lead us on a merry chase.
So, Tim, okay, yes. I'd rather crack through the shell of a giant demon than go deal with Tim.
You're making such a big deal out of this.
Yeah.
All we have to do is go to Tim, take Tim, bring Tim back, and then you'll never have to hear us talk about Tim pretty much ever again.
Have you thought about the logistics of what you just said?
It'll be easy. He loves us. He adores us, right, Ankara? He's like our best friend.
Yeah, he will just go wherever we ask him to. He trusts us. If we say warm and we go like this, he'll come with us. He'll say warm and he'll follow us.
Just flop right along.
Yep.
His little gooey self.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross when you
Little solar goo trail behind him.
snail trail.
Yeah.
This sounds like a great plan. Perhaps we should turn in our blue orb.
Definitely.
So, what line should we take on this? Should we go talk to the Knights of Astafon and try to find a lead? Or should we try to figure out where the Utu the Spear's quarters were
Well, first we need
Or
to
his
get
corpse.
Tim, if that's what you want to do. Let's get this out of the way so I never have to deal with this shit again.
Well,
Let's just
I
go
was
do
gonna.
it.
I was trying to be a team player.
Yeah, we
No,
don't have to go now.
We don't have to
He's
go
right.
now.
That's the easiest part about this.
it's the
and
easiest.
I
It's
always
just
wonder if
getting him to
that's
follow
the
us.
Do it.
Okay.
Or
let's do
carrying
it.
him in a giant pot.
I'm okay with either one, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well just go do that. It requires us backtracking rather than going forward. We have to go back down the path where guys throw spears at us, into the
Haven't-
gate, up the
Haven't we
stairs.
already
Haven't
been to the gateway?
You could climb up onto the wall top.
But then there's a wyvern up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Couldn't Ankara like just fog cloud it? You just run through.
I don't have fog
No,
cloud
the last
now,
time we fog cloud, we got impaled with spears.
we also
Spear
beat
dudes
the
are dead.
wyvern.
The spear dudes are dead though now.
Not all of them, only on one side.
Well, honestly, with the spear dudes, I have moonbeam, so I feel like if we just stood somewhere far away, it's like a 60-foot range. So I could just continuously moonbeam them until they're dead.
I love that you think that's going to work. I love that you think that they're not going to throw 80 spears at you and we're going to watch
because
rats
won't
eat you
see
again.
me.
We're going to
I'll
watch.
be
Are you kidding me? The rats are going to eat you and we're going to have to watch it again. That's in my head permanently. I can't
You know, I got
not
to see a
draw
live
that,
action of that because I've been playing a Plague Tale.
which is a great game.
Yeah.
It's a great game. And I've seen several people eaten by rats. It's really not pleasant. It's
No, it's pretty bad.
pretty bad.
So I don't want that for you again. And all I'm saying is, if we do this, we have to be smart about it. And no matter what we do, we either are running the gauntlet of having shit thrown at us or fighting a wyvern. One of the two. It's your choice what we do. And no matter what, all right, it might be easier just to. Oh my god, it might not. Okay,
Wait. You have amazing murder gloves. All we have to do is go back to the portcullis. You can sneak up, kill all the guards, go in that room. That's way faster. Why are we even dealing with the wyvern?
because that's also
We left
the
him
same
in a
place.
pot in that room full of people. It's way easier to get in through the original way. We did that like when we first got here. Now we have like moon powers and shit.
No,
We're way more powerful.
We have to walk, like wherever we go, when we come back to town, to the barricade, we have to either go down the path.
But we don't have to go back to the barricade. We can go to any Sunfire Brazier, including the
Not yet.
Yeah, we don't have that power. We can only go to the last one we visited. So
Is there someone we could like send to do this for us?
Let's send the kid,
Is there anyone
Pretorio.
you trust to convince Tim to
Praetorio's
come back?
invincible. I feel like we can do it.
Pretorio has plot armor.
Yeah,
Let's just
that
send him.
kid is going to save the world. So no matter what, we either have to go back through, dodge the spears, or go back through, fight the wyvern. But here's the thing. No matter what, once we get him, we have to come back the other way. So either we are now going up a ladder, taking Tim across a wall, back down the side of a wall, back to the barricade, or taking Tim back through guys throwing spears at us.
All right.
Either way
Let's
sucks.
kill these spear guys.
We
Okay.
could do you think if we go the other way first, we might be able to find something that's powerful or build up powers that would allow our trip to be easier after that?
Well, do we level up? Are we about to level up?
Yep.
Mhm.
So let's level
Your
up
third
first.
three.
We'll level up. We will then, I think, go and I say we destroy the statues so that we don't have to ever deal with them again. So that hallway, that pathway is permanently clear. And so we can move back and forth whenever we need to. And that's fine. And then we get Tim. Seems like
Yeah.
the best strategy.
Yeah, we're level 5s now, guys. Last time we tried to do that, we were like level 1.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, level 5.
Yeah, we can take it now. Yeah, probably kill the wyvern too, because we killed him when we were like level 2.
We can't just keep killing everybody. We got stuff to do. TikTok, the world's ending.
I know. I'm just saying.
TikTok. The world's ending.
Level 5.
Yes. Oh man, 5's a big
It's a
level.
big jump. Yeah.
5 is big, and it increases your proficiency bonus.
Ooh.
Awesome. Okay, so here at the end of today's episode, I'm assuming that the four of you return to Saloon, give her the third and final tier of Saloon. And she reaches out and draws out shards of the sun and inserts them into your hands, and you feel the power surging through you. And when we start the next episode, we should cover what each of you gain when you level up to level 5.
I'm already there.
Man, I am so excited. Level 5 is when I get... Nothing really spectacular, actually. I become like more sneaky.
Y'all get cool shit at level 5.
I get a new invocation.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
nice.
new spell slots too.
I get to swing twice every fight, which is a big deal.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, can you have a flail and a sword?
Sure, I can have whatever I want.
You can't dual wield those two weapons.
That'd be amazing.
I'm also casting at 3rd level spell slots now.
Well, it looks like we have a lot to think about in our break between this and next week. But let's go around this screen here and figure out what everyone's up to in the meantime before our next episode. Britt, what are you up to?
I'm up to just doing my job. So
Nice.
just go watch all of these people do their streams. Jeff and Bronze have a talk show. Go watch that. Jesse does a bunch of different things. Everybody streams their own shows. So go watch those shows because they're good shows.
Primo.
Yeah. I'll just be at my desk doing office things. Week.
One single tier. Doing office things.
I'm actually editing this week, so it's going to be kind of fun. But not on stream. I won't be editing on stream.
Steven, what's happening with you this week?
Yo, having a great week hanging out with my parents. That's super fun. And that's really it. Can't wait for next week. I'm super stoked to see y'all at level 5 and start getting into some deeper content in the Sunfall Cycle. I think we're heading through a transition phase into some really cool parts of the game. So I can't wait. And that's it. I love playing with y'all. Y'all rule. Back to you, Jesse.
Bronze, can I pull you away from your character creation for a minute? What's going on with you this week? What are you up to?
Mire of the Mind. I can cast slow. Now that I'm level 5. Anyways, hi, I'm that bronze girl, and I'm a variety caster on twitch.tv. Oh yeah, I went from not being invited to D&D Live 2019 to opening it with the Relics and Rarities crew.
Damn.
So I'm gonna be there starting
that?
Friday. That was me dabbing on my haters.
Oh, right. As you do, of
Because
course.
that's what adults do. Adults call their critics haters. Sorry, that was me just being shady and shitty. Don't listen to me. I actually do, because that's my whole stream. So if you're like, wow, she's really negative and she says things I don't like, don't come watch me. That's my whole shtick, is calling people out on their hypocrisy and just being stupid.
Go hate watch Bronze.
Yeah, hate watch me. Your power makes me more powerful. I'm like a Sith Lord, and every time you're like, I really don't like that girl.
What is that voice?
Oh, it's so
Bronze,
thick.
you actually 100% sound like my great
God.
That's what I'm going for. So that's
Dude.
perfect.
100%.
Thank you. But yeah, if you're at D&D Live this weekend, I think our meet and greet is on Saturday. But the show that we're doing is on Friday. It's going to be live streamed. So if you're not going, you can still watch it. And that's me.
Jeff, dearest among us, what are you up to?
I'm gonna tell a funny story real quick because Bronze reminded me of it with her thick Indian accent.
That was an Indian. That was just me talking.
We have this thing on my stream. It's really nice. You can order a pizza, and every Tuesday we play Warhammer. So for the first time, someone's like, "Yeah, let's order a pizza for you guys." That was really cool. But then they thought it'd be funny to order, or we thought it'd be funny to order like a second and third pizza. But you can actually put a cap on it because obviously you don't want someone to be like, "This is so funny." And they order you 10 pizzas. But the delivery guy delivers one. We're like, "That's nice," and we get it. then he calls back like 10 minutes later, like, I have your pizza here in the lobby. And we're like, what? And we're like, stream, that's so funny. So we go get it, and there's nobody there. And we go back, and then he calls again. He's like, are you going to get this pizza or not? But in a thick Indian accent. So I'm like, I was just there. There's nobody there. And he's like, stop messing with me. And then he gets mad, and then he hands the phone to the lady at the front desk, and she's like, sir, the way you're harassing this pizza driver is not okay. Like, come get the pizza. And I'm having this like really stressed out, like, we were there. I didn't see anyone.
I don't.
And they're really mad, and they just like hang up on me. And what ends up happening, we think, is that he like went off to go deliver more pizza and fucking just called my number again, like on accident, to come down and get the pizza at a different place. But for like 20 minutes, I was just like getting these people really mad at me and yelling at me. And I was like, I don't understand. There's nobody there. Yeah, that's it. That was my yesterday.
It was a call from the future. And
they by the way, the way people handle this in this situation, they just stopped calling. They're like, they probably figure out what happened. Like, oh.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to call you and apologize. It was me. I'm not calling you to apologize.
That was my bad, but I'm not going to.
It was all streamed though, but it was like, it started with vintage Jeff snark, because he would call and be like, are you going to get this pizza? And I was like, well, if there was a pizza to get, I would. Like,
that's like peak Jeff.
Okay, never mind. It's all the story starting to come together now. Now I get why they were mad at you.
Yeah, really pissed off.
Well, it turns out
I'd be like,
they were in a
this
different
fucking
building.
guy.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
I can't do it because it's like, in order for me to do it, it's the most racist thing in the world. So I'm just like, yeah, it's a thick Indian accent, like every stereotype ever. Anyways, yeah, thank you. I skipped out on going to WCS Kiev because they offered me 56 hours of travel, and I decided to keep living. So I'll be home the next week. Yeah, they're like 28 hours there and 20 hours back, and I was like, wow.
Where does it take 28 hours to get to?
It's just the same kind of thing. It's like a 14-hour flight to France, but then there's a 6-hour layover, and then there's going to be a 3-hour flight to this other. I mean, it's Kiev, Ukraine, so there's not a lot of direct flights to that kind of place.
Yeah.
Not that esports is willing to spend on anyways. So I think the last leg of the trip was going to be like a goat cart from Saudi Arabia, I think, or something like that, to Kiev. And
small
they have
layover
instructions
in
for
Saudi
how I'm
Arabia.
supposed to dress as a woman. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. So I just...
The last leg you have
Your brand.
You have to be smuggled across.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd love to see Jeff in the back of a goat cart, like, leaving Kiev.
The most indignant look on anyone's face you've ever seen.
Everyone would look so hopeful, like time for a new future. And there's just be
Goodbye.
I'd be looking at someone's barefoot and just being like, I want to die.
I hate all of this.
Like a mother holding her kids, like, when we cross the border, we will have a new life. And Jeff is just like...
That's pretty good. How did you know my indignant face? So Jesus, you nailed it.
All right, well, that's our show. Oh, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back next week with another episode. But that's it for us. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. And remember, never
moosh those booties.
Make coffee in a broken pot, as they say.
Yeah,
Naked.
Actually, maybe.
That part
Never
was a
make
mistake.
coffee clothed.
Bye, everybody.
You know, where's the payoff? Bring the strippers and booze. We do occasionally talk about video games. Bring the strippers and booze. Not enough time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
Yeah, now sing the music.
Bring the strippers and booze. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. You